Hey everybody, welcome to a special episode of the Nerd Today podcast. I hope all is well in your world. I hope you are enjoying your time in the beginnings of summer. I don't know if you could tell what we're talking about today. Just I don't know. Oh, sorry, I just got to stretch. Not sponsored, but shop at AEW.com. Just saying. Could be sponsored. I don't know how you would do a sponsorship with a wrestling company you do not work for. But I'm not opposed to. You guys have a gaming division. Just saying. What's up? I should probably not look over here. I'm looking at myself in the camera, or like on OBS. It's horrible. For people who are just tuning in and have never seen my content, very sorry. This is going to be more lackadaisical. Lackadaisical. That's not even the right word. See, these things are for Jeff, I guess, to laugh at. But yeah, we are. This is going to kind of be my first movie review. Very fitting. I just saw In the Heights. As I said, it's not like you could tell. I just want to just kind of riff and just kind of get my thoughts out when they're so fresh in my mind, and not like no script, nothing like that. Just kind of, let's talk. Let's talk about this. Let's discuss. And I mean, first and foremost, let's get it out the way. Just wow, what a beautiful movie, man. A special movie. And we'll go full spoilers, because I think to just give context of why this movie is so special to me. First of all, amazing musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Lin killed it with the music choice. This is one I've not not branched out to see like live in any way, shape, or form. Unfortunately, just because it's kind of difficult. And like, I didn't really like, not blaming my wife. She's just not like super into musicals and stuff like that. She actually loved this, by the way. That's her review. She loved it. And yeah, I mean, it's so beautiful. The music was great. The setting was amazing. Actually, filming in New York showed that John Chu, he's a really good director. I think a lot of people, for whatever reason, only associate him with like that one Justin Bieber movie where like it's like took him on tour or whatever. But like, dude has a really good record and like has, I don't know like what cinematography he deals with, but like I don't know if it's like a ongoing relationship. Like I feel like he has a. Again, I forgot to mute. That's what gets me copyright infringe. I swear to God. Yeah, I don't know if he has like a cinematographer that he works with constantly and things like that. I think he has a good eye for stuff and he has a visual styling of its own. Just not akin to this, but his G.I. Joe movie is really good. You should watch it. Crazy Rich Asians is, I want to curse, but it's absolutely awesome. It's like effing fantastic. Like that movie is great. I watched that movie multiple times in 1 week. I don't think I'd even do that for Marvel movies. I'm a huge nerd, guys. Come on, I'm a huge nerd, as you know if you watch my channel. But yeah, he has such a beautiful eye for this, and adapting Lin's material was he's the right director for that. I think he was the correct person to take the reins and kind of give a visual flair on its own. And like the little things they do with like, the beginning of the movie with Usnavi, where he's just waking up, going out, starting to sing, about Washington Heights, and like his morning, wake up, walk out and stuff, and his foot, his Nike step on like some gum, he gets it on there, the children in the beginning of the movie laugh when he's telling the story, and he like to get the bubblegum off his foot, like he like kind of basically plays the manhole cover like a record on the DJ booth, and just right off the bat, like just establishing like, hey, this is not your typical thing. We're gonna do, like do these things that are not capable, obviously, in real life. Kind of give a flair to the stage presence, right? Like when you go to see a Broadway show, when you go to see any musical and things like that in your local theaters. Support the local arts, by the way. I'm in Philadelphia, and we have like a bunch of theaters here, which is it's awesome. I've been to many of them, and they're very, very awesome. And opera is one of my favorite things to go to. I know I talk about a lot of video games on my channel and nerdy stuff, but yeah, I love the opera. It's a really fun time, especially the theaters we have here. And yeah, just starting off and having Anthony Ramos like just kill it, man. Anthony just absolutely was a ball to watch. And like the rest of the cast and seeing people like I'm more familiar with like, Stephanie, is it Beatrice? I'm definitely I'm definitely butchering your name. I'm sorry, Stephanie. But like seeing her character of Rosa in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then seeing her in The Heights, like completely different. I knew she had like obviously she has the acting range. There's so many dramatic beats in that show that she shows, but like not being the stoic Rosa, like being this completely outlandish character, and just her with her partner, and they're singing and they're dancing. She doesn't like. It's just hilarious, like absolutely hilarious to see her in that role. And everyone plays off each other, and it's the right cast, crew, and everything. It just makes such a movie, and this is definitely. I mentioned Anthony before, but like this is Anthony's like coming out basically, right? Like this is his like, hey world, good morning. This is Anthony. He just got called I think like Man of the Year, if I'm right, or something like on Time Magazine. That like having a feature in there, and he's gonna star in the next Transformers movie. Like it's rumored that he's the lead, which will be like a reboot-esque. Because we need it. Being a Transformers fan is hard. Just for general public sake. And yeah, it's just I don't know how to describe more of that sense, like the actor sense, but like just to kick off the story and having just a very simple story of a guy from the Dominican, live his life and just go through the not emotions, but like this is what I do for the morning. I provide from like the neighborhood, and do all these little things. I work with my little cousin Sonny. I have this thing for this girl Vanessa. My best friend, one of my best friends, Nina, is back in town. Who's used to date my other best friend Benny. Like in the Heights, the song itself. I was mentioning to my friend Susan, shout out to you, and Brianna, shout out to you as well. They're huge musical nerds like I am. Like I found it so amazing how that one song just establishes the whole like framework of the play. The musical, the movie, everything. Everything is touched upon in the beginning. Will be referenced throughout the whole movie. I'm going to mention it as a movie just because I'm talking specifically about the film version. Obviously, this works in unison with the musical, like the actual source material. But like having Claudia come and talking about Paciencia y Fe, and then that's her song. Woo, voice cracked a little. That's one of the ones I cried about. And we'll talk about that in a short while. But having Benny talk and like establishing his vocal like style, Sonny's aspirations, everything like that, selling lottery tickets and stuff like that. And it's just amazing that the first song and the last song just kind of perfectly encapsulate encapsulate the whole movie, where you get like In the Heights just sets the whole story up, and all the callbacks. Like I re-listening to the music today, and I was like just shocked. Like, wait, like I was just so into it at the time, and just like enamored by seeing people who look like me, and I've mentioned this before when in my Miles Morales review, just like seeing that Latinx excellence on screen is absolutely beautiful. I was gushing, I was ear to ear smiling, and it's just amazing like how Lin can come up with that. Like the dude is uber talented, and like Eric, swear to God, every time I turn my TV on, he's on my TV in one way, shape, or form. I have two children, you know, and they love Sesame Street. Well, I go and was like, let's start with like earlier seasons. Like, let's start with season 40 of Sesame Street. First episode, who do I see? Lin-Manuel. He's Freddie Flatman. Flatman Realty, right? Like, he's trying to get Big Bird a house somewhere else, like a habitat, and he has a whole rap song about habitats, and I'm crazy about this. And then there's he has, I don't know if he made it, but like there's a whole song for a new Muppet that's introduced, I believe, that season, Murray and Ovejita, this little Spanish sheep that laughs like I get emotional on Sesame Street because how she laughs just reminds me of my mom's partner, and it's just awesome. It's just, I see him there, and then okay, we're done with Sesame Street for a while, so what do we want to watch? Well, my kids want to watch Moana, and guess who wrote the music for that? Lin-Manuel. And then, hey, I love Mary Poppins. Let's watch that new one that I missed in theaters. Oh, who's in that? Lin-Manuel. I just want to watch a random episode of House. Oh, wait, who's in this episode where he's like in rehab or like a psych ward or something? Lin-Manuel. This dude's everywhere in my life. Like, I feel like I can't get around, like, away from him, which is fine. I want him in my life. This guy's amazing. Oh, how about this? I'm gonna watch this awesome documentary about this. You know, this guy did astrology on Univision named Walter Mercado. Let me watch it. Oh, Lin-Manuel's there because yeah, he's like a voice for our people, and not just Puerto Ricans, just Latinx people in general. He's a voice for us. He's someone who can advocate for us, and on such a large scale. Pardon me. And like just seeing him interact with Morter when he brought Hamilton to Puerto Rico, and it's just awesome. Like, this guy is amazing, and I could gush about him all a million times. And just to create this character Usnavi and this story. And he mentioned in interviews, like, he created Usnavi because he needed a job and all this other stuff. But Anthony is really Usnavi. Like, he really is. He commands that presence with such, like, earnest truth. And it's just amazing. Again, try not to just gush also about Anthony all the whole time. But before we get into, like, my kind of big emotional moments and my general feelings while watching the movie, I wanted to shout out my two favorite, like, Easter eggs, I guess you could say. One was when Kevin Rosario, Jimmy Smith's character, is calling Stanford. It's a whole plot point. But I love Jimmy Smith. That dude's amazing. I want to meet him too as well. Just Jimmy, if you're watching, I love you, like NYPD Blue, man, and you know, you're Leia's dad, stepdad, but really you really a real father. You raised her, you count, and you made her like the less whiny Skywalker. You know, Sons of Anarchy, you're awesome. Just, hey, what's up, man? Hi, my name's Carlos. I can come up to New York. You know, what's up, man? Just saying, interview, whatever. You ever thought about getting into video games? I can help you with that. Anyway, yeah, Kevin calls Stanford, and the whole music is King George's, like, music from Hamilton. And me and my niece Ariana were crying, like, laughing. And then, you know, seeing Lin play the Piragua guy, man, and just that in general, like, there were so many things that, again, I mentioned this with, like, my Miles Morales episode, like, if you know, you know. But as I mentioned later on, I had my friend Jeff showed me this article, or this NPR podcast called Code Switch, and they had a whole episode about the explanatory. Well, I'm definitely messing that word up. Comma, where basically we have to explain, right? So seeing Piragua guy, Lynn, walk down the street in his cart with giant black eyes, my wife knows because I've explained it to her. But in this context, I explained it to like my niece's boyfriend. Like, so we pause. What's piragua? Piragua's like shaved ice. It's like, oh, so it's like a snow cone. No, it's better. Snow cones are equally as good, I guess. No, well, no, they're not. I'm gonna straight up say that they're not. If you can get piragua, get piragua. It's better than snow cones. I think it is better than Mr. Softy as well. That's what we're touching on. But yeah, seeing him as the Piragua guy and just talking about like ringing the bell and shaving the ice for the kids and having like a feud with Mr. Softy, who's played by Chris Jackson, who originated the role Benny in Broadway and is George Washington in Hamilton, and just seeing them, that's the funniest damn thing I've seen in this movie. I was like legitimately dying, and so funny. And stay for the credits, by the way. There's a great payoff to their feud that's set up in the middle of the story. It's so good. It's so amazing. Me and my friends were just gushing this morning about it. It was so funny. And then I guess we'll kind of end this pseudo review. I've never done really a movie review, and I think we'll try to write down stuff next time. I don't want to do a Mortal Kombat review, but I guess I could rewatch it. It's probably out of HBO Max. Anyway, don't worry about it. I wanted to just touch base about what was just so powerful of a movie too, and just seeing just the beginning song again, just In the Heights. I've been in that neighborhood, my mom's partner had a sibling who lived there, and I spent like a whole summer there. I would go there all the time, with her and my mom to visit, and to see it realized and how beautiful that neighborhood could be was awesome. Just seeing the community interact, that's how it is. It really is like that, man. Like, yeah, there's some people who just don't talk to each other. It's fine, and it could be a little rough at night. It's every city, major city, it's like that. But to see it so realized was absolutely amazing. It was so cool to watch. Sorry, I just realized my RGB keyboard is the Puerto Rican flag as well. That's really cool. And I was trying not to get choked up in the very beginning, and then just get wrapped up in the music and like just the whole setting up Usnavi's story and the neighborhood story, really. And then you get this Claudia character who talks about how important it is to keep the little things from our home to continue for and pass them down generations. And quickly I'm just like, oh man. I personally had a rough relationship with my mother. I loved her, and I think she loved me in our way, but her partner was really the parent out of it. I unfortunately didn't grow up with my dad. I didn't get to find out about him until after he passed as well. And I have siblings now, which is amazing, and I love all three of you guys. But just growing up as a child, I had Augustina, and she looked like her, right? Claudia kind of looked like her. She, Ogie, which we called her, that was her nickname. She was thinner and shorter, obviously, than Claudia, but she was just like the jokes, the off-color jokes, the cooking, I felt like when Claudia was cooking for everyone for that special dinner, I smelled it. I swear to God, I could smell it. Seemed to bend neat and all, which luckily, my wife does know how to make that, so it's awesome. But she looks like her, and she almost sounds like her, and she came from Puerto Rico with like nothing, and like just Claudia's story just resonated with me, and it wasn't 100 1-to-1 with like Ogie's life and Claudia's, but it was just nice to have that, like, that matriarch character. And her song, As She Passes, was so difficult to hear. I mean, obviously the actress is killing it, with the song and the story, and just her performance throughout the whole film, is awesome. She originated the role, I believe, as well. I read today, and in Broadway. And this song is just so beautiful and so haunting, and saying, should I go, should I stay? And then she's like, yeah, I'll go. Okay. Paciencia y fe. Patience of faith. It was beautiful, and I think if you have just an older family member, it's just rough to watch. Obviously, I was tearing up, but I was just watching that and just connect it with Ogi again. Even though she's been gone all these years, it was beautiful. And then kind of kicking off with like Usnavi and the whole community reeling from her passing, and just being sad, and there's a blackout and all this stuff. And then Daniela, the character who's like moving her her beauty salon down to I believe the Bronx. They mentioned her and her girlfriend and her friend, we're going down there, we're moving, and like no one's coming out to say bye. Everyone's just sad, depressed, and hot. It's just like 100 degrees. And they have this Carnaval de Barrio, and man, it's just this beautiful song. And they're talking about how prideful it can be just to be, lift up your flag, and Lynn is the one who kicks it off, and just suddenly like clicking it off and seeing the Puerto Rican flag. I don't know why, it was just like this wave of emotion just ran over me, and just seeing all these actors and Latinx people just dancing and singing and just filled with pride in who they are and where they're from. I had such a like rough relationship with and identity crisis with who I was growing up. I remember, because like in musicals, that's not, you're not Puerto Rican, you don't like, you like musicals, that's weird. You're not Puerto Rican, you like comic books. You're not Puerto Rican, you like rock music. I like rap music too. Like, your Spanish isn't great, you're not Puerto Rican enough. I'm never always felt like I wasn't enough. It wasn't enough just to be me. Like, being born Puerto Rican is not enough. And I had a tough relationship with that growing up. Even some off-color jokes still kind of get me. You act white, you talk white, whatever that means. And it's rough, but I feel pride in my people, and I feel pride where we come from, and I know that it's not like, I know our history, and I know this, and I don't know why as a child it's so rough to hear and so rough to feel. And then, something clicked, finding the rest of my family, finding my siblings, and just being immersed in the world again, having, just all these Puerto Rican people around me again just felt great. And it felt like home. It felt like what I needed my whole life. I think my mom had like a rough relationship with it as well. We're taught to act a certain way, be a certain way, so we don't ruffle feathers, and it's rough. It's difficult to kind of imagine. And it's even worse when we had Nina's story where she mentions she went to Stanford, and the first night they searched her bag. They searched her because her roommate, who she has barely just met, lost her pearl necklace, which happened to be in her bag, but the RAs were called and the parents were called and everyone was upset. And they found it in her bag, of course. And then Nina apologizes for like being inconvenienced. And that really struck me. Something I've, I already just in general have depression and anxiety, and I don't know, I feel like the pressures of the world are always on me. And then to add another factor on top of that, I'm from Puerto Rican now. So it's like I have all that as well. And I've definitely felt that. I felt like the pressure to be like, hey, I'm sorry that I'm Puerto Rican, almost. And it's horrible. It's absolutely just insane to feel that way. Like, no one should feel that way. No one should feel, hey, I'm sorry I'm Polish. Hey, I'm sorry I'm Irish. Hey, I'm sorry I'm Mexican. Hey, I'm sorry I'm Danish. Hey, I'm sorry I'm Puerto Rican. No, screw that, man. That's not how this is supposed to go. We should be prideful of who we are and where we came from. We should understand the hardships all of our people have come through and pushed through, and it's just such a rough time for so many racial issues and things of that nature. It's just, her story resonated with me so much. That kind of, she said sorry, and that just hurt. It hurt so bad, and I don't think anyone caught it when we were watching it. I just started tearing up, and it like talking it over with my friends today, and just, I don't know, it was just nice. Like Nina's story, just wanted to be prideful of who she is, and like what would life have been if she just lived in Puerto Rico and grew up in Puerto Rico, not having to learn Spanish. It's just who you are. Feeling more, alive. And I think, I don't know, I had a rough relationship with that, and I don't think it was until adulthood. I wish it was earlier. I don't think it was until adulthood and having, met more of my family, understand our hardships and things like nature like that. It was and watching these things, like, just, this movie specifically, it was like a touchstone for me for that, and understanding more where I'm coming from, who I am, and to be proud, proud and powerful. It's okay to be that. It's okay to love our people. It's okay to love yourself. And I am Puerto Rican enough, whatever that means. Yeah, I listen to rock music. I like Metallica. What am I supposed to do? But there's a band from Spain that's really good. That's rock music. There's Sobre. Like, they're awesome. There's all this stuff that we don't all look the same. We don't all sound the same. We all don't have the same story or journey, but we have this beautiful thing. We have this pride in ourselves that connects us, and that's fine, and that's beautiful. And raise your flag. Be proud of who you are. Raise the Mexican flag. Raise the Dominican flag. Raise the Cuban flag. Raise the Puerto Rican flag. Be proud of who you are. And I think I went to bed so hyped last night, and I woke up so happy this morning. And I want to thank Lynn for that. And I want to thank, John Chu for creating this movie, version of it. I want to thank the cast and crew for absolutely killing it and taking me on an emotional roller coaster, and apparently a spiritual one as well, with like coming to terms with a lot of my life and my body and who I am. So for the Nerd Day podcast, this is kind of just a brief talk of I guess a review. The review is it's 5 out of 5 for me. If I had to grade it, I don't have a grading system. But if I had to, it'd be 5 out of 5, man. Come on. In the Heights is amazing. It's probably the best HBO Max and also theater movie that's out. Just brass tacks. I I mean, just shot everything story like it has conclusions. There's no questions at the end of it. Like Those Who Wish Me Dead, Mortal Kombat, things like that. To me, it's good beginning, middle, end. So if you love musicals, you have HBO Max, please go out to see it. If you want to brave the theaters, please go do that as well. You know, a lot of restrictions are going down, numbers are going down. Please just be safe. And again, for the Nerd Today podcast, I will see you guys next time. Peace.